Welcome to Go with Kyle Harbaugh.
Hello and welcome to Go with Kyle Harbaugh. By combining traditional business building methods with AI, Kyle helps law firms, financial advisors, and a variety of businesses thrive in a changing world to build personalized roadmaps to success. My name's Kevin Rosenquist. I'm your host today, and we are going to talk about the impact of artificial intelligence on legal services. Kyle, welcome back.
I'm glad to be back. I'm excited for this conversation, Kevin.
Me too. I mean, we talked AI last time. We both discussed how much we both enjoy talking about AI. So yeah, let's get right into it. How has the role of artificial intelligence evolved in legal services over just the past few years? Can you share maybe some examples of applications currently being utilized?
I could. I'm not going to do any third-party advertising, but I know some really awesome companies out there. I would say we're not even in the early adoption phase. We're kind of like just maybe entering that early adopting phase. So I know, there's some practice management systems that have it. There's all sorts of different applications for different, parts of AI. So, intake, document production, case strategy, e-discovery, medical record and expert witness evaluation, anticipation of points of negotiation, and contract review are all different AI systems that I've personally worked with that law firms are using.
That's incredible. That's really, really incredible. I know there's going to be some lawyers listening who are going to roll their eyes and scoff at that and be like, no, you need a human for that stuff.
Well, you do to check its work. And who knows their craft inside and out. I don't disagree. But in psychology, you have system ones, like your birthday. You could tell me your birthday instantly. Or I could ask you an old address that you used to live at, and you could probably recall it right away. And then you have system twos, which are things like 4 times 17. Now, we can all get to 68, but it's going to take us a little bit longer to think about that. Mm-hmm. And that's a system 2 process. And those take more calories, and you're only going to get about, I want to say it's like 140, might be less, might be only 120. Don't quote me on that. But you only get so many of those a day. After that, you get fatigued and you feel burnt out, and you need some sleep. And unless you're very, very motivated to get more system 2 processes, it's just not going to happen. So you got to have a strong motivation to break through that fatigue. And so AI is going to be able to analyze so much more and get so many more reps, and it's not going to get tired. Mm-hmm. So it's really here to supercharge you.
What specific opportunities do you see for law firms that embrace AI technologies?
I see 2 really big ones. I mean, we could talk all day. But 2 really big ones are speed to lead follow-up. So that's going to allow more people that contact them, they're actually able to follow up with them quickly, because I know that is a big struggle for a lot of law firms, is calling back people quickly. And usually if you don't pick up the phone, they're calling another lawyer immediately after. So that's going to translate to potentially more cases closed. That's a really big one. The other big one I see is handling a higher volume of cases and actually doing a good job. If you have a very heavy caseload, things might fall through the cracks. But if you have AI, that can really help you, address everything and help you manage that heavy caseload.
On the other side, what are some of the major challenges that law firms face when integrating AI into their practice, and how can they navigate these hurdles?
One of the biggest things that I see is a lot of lawyers are not tech savvy. Some of them are. I love talking to those people. Shout out to Kellen Parks. Awesome guy who knows his systems very, very well. I love talking to people who are knowledgeable, but a lot of them aren't. And a lot of them have misconceptions about what AI is, how it works, and you really need to have a better understanding of what the tool is. So if it's a specific tool made for law firms or other professional services, it's probably going to have safeguards. It's probably going to have things that will help keep the quality and control up. But if it's just some generic tool, some off-the-shelf tool, if you're just using ChatGPT, the data you're putting in is training that model. Mm-hmm. And you need to understand that, and you have an ethical duty to safeguard your client's data. And so I really cringe at some of the some people just don't know this stuff and are, potentially exposing their clients' data or other sensitive information. So, you need to understand what it is. And for instance, both of our systems are SOC 2 and GDPR compliant because we built these tools specifically for law firms and financial advisory firms that have a high compliance standard.
Absolutely, yeah. Two areas where you have lots of compliance standards for sure. Continuing on with that, what ethical considerations should attorneys keep in mind when implementing AI solutions in their practices? Because it obviously raises some concerns, but also, they want to be compliant, but they also they want to make sure they're doing it the correct way to get the most out of it and still be compliant. So what do you think they should keep in mind?
Yeah, so it's really check its work. Under
talked
ABA,
about that last episode.
Yeah, we did. Under ABA rules 5.1 and 5.2, 5.3, those rules are duties to supervise. You already have that duty. You have to supervise, associate attorneys. You have to supervise paralegals. You can work with some great systems. Like I said in a previous episode, our systems are highly accurate. Our Step AI system is 97% accurate. Right Hire is even higher at 99.3. It's something that I still check its work every single time. Every single time I am looking at the reports and reading page by page, word by word to make sure that it is accurate. Right now, as of we're recording this in March of 2025, these systems still can hallucinate. Mm-hmm. And you need to be aware of that. And you need to be aware that some weird random thing could be in there and you need to check its work just how you would check a law clerk's work.
And to be clear for anyone who doesn't know, but a lot of people heard that term hallucinate. It means making things up.
Right.
It's making things up.
Yeah. It wants to give you an answer, even if that answer is entirely made up.
Yep. So that's an important thing to note. If when you hear that word hallucinate, it's not just it's just a little off. No, it's giving bad information, and it's important to know that. Obviously, what AI processes vast amounts of data very, very quickly. How do you help law firms leverage AI to enhance their decision-making processes and outcomes for clients?
Well, that's a great tool, and both of our AI systems are decision-making tools for that purpose. They're not another login to manage a piece of software that we have that generates a report. And for instance, our Step AI system analyzes your business in 12 key areas. So it's looking at your business in a very holistic manner. Now, is this anything super novel? Well, yeah, the technology is, but the methodology isn't. There's plenty of other consultants out there who are doing this type of a business analysis, but usually it would take them weeks and potentially months, depending on the size of the business. And it would take up a bunch of your time, the business owner's time, a bunch of their time, potentially your team's. And that type of analysis usually starts around $10,000. And it's not any kind of crazy stretch to be $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 for this business analysis to come back and identify your largest opportunities for growth. We've streamlined that whole process. So now we're able to analyze the business in about, on average, 3 hours. So we need 3 hours of the business owner's time. We can give them a customized playbook to help them understand how they need to grow, where they need to focus their time, their money, and their effort so that they can actually really, truly grow in a meaningful way. That just wouldn't be possible without AI. So that's one way. Another great way that AI works is hiring processes. Our other system, Right Hire AI, it identifies who's the best person for a role, and it's looking at their personality, their personal goals, their skill set and experience. And then on the company side, it's looking at benefits they want to offer, the culture they want to develop, and the developmental opportunities available. Because somebody might be very skilled and be a great culture fit, but if you can't give them the long-term growth track that they want for their own career, they're probably not going to stay super long. So our system is able to look at a bunch of stuff like, yeah, you can do that by hand, but it's going to take you a long time, especially if you're trying to, that's a really heavy lift if you're trying to get an answer back to candidates quickly. You have a couple of different candidates that you're not sure which one is the best. Some people like this person, some people like that person. It's like, who do I really pick? Having an unbiased report that explains by data who's actually the best fit, that's super valuable. I mean, a mishire on average from based on information that I've been given, on average, a law firm associate, the loss of them is about over $200,000. So
Holy cow.
yeah, so that's a substantial risk. And I recently spoke to somebody, the paralegal and a associate attorney left, and they were very good producers. About $750,000 worth of revenue generating employees left.
Wow, that's a hit.
That's a significant hit.
Wow, that's crazy. With the adoption of AI tools, you want to maintain client confidentiality. We talked about regulations already. What can law firms do to maintain all that data is safe?
Yeah, so understand, who was it built for? If it was built for law firms, like I know some great systems out there that can analyze your medical records and then create medical chronologies. Like I wish I had that when I was in PI. That would have been great. That tool is purpose built for law firms, for personal injury. So it's HIPAA compliant. It has all the compliance and safeguards that you need. So if you're not sure, go read the terms of service. But I would say the best practice is don't give it the information. So either keep that client data out of your interaction with the AI, or scrub the data out, remove that personal or sensitive data so that it never has it to begin with.
Looking ahead, what do you believe the future holds for AI in legal services? Are there any emerging trends or innovations that law firms should be particularly aware of? I know last time we talked a little bit about AGI, but are there other things?
Yeah, so like I said before, I don't even think we're really in the early adoption stage. I think we're beginning to, some law firms are playing with it, but a lot of them, it's not on their radar.
Yeah.
The big firms, the 500 plus 1,000-person law firms, it's on their radar and they're using AI. The problem is they're big, they're bureaucratic. By the time they, analyze something and roll it out to all their people, there could be something better already on the market. So what I see the real advantage, where I see some real opportunity to capture additional market share, is for those medium-sized firms who have a budget and who are more nimble than those big firms. And, they're going to be able, if they use AI well, they're going to be able to capture more market share if they're willing to innovate. I talked to a law firm owner somewhat recently, and they're looking at creating a one-to-many service. They're already using AI to serve a lower tier of clientele so that they have more service lines and they can capture more clients.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. We talked a little bit last time, I believe it was last episode, about the fear that goes into it a little bit, the fear of technology, the fear of bringing something on, and we talked about how people are going to get left behind. How soon do you think that do you think it's going to be like people get left behind like real soon if they don't start looking into this?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I think this year is going to be a real shift, and it's only going to accelerate from here on out. So it's the tools are going to get better faster. And I understand, like I had a conversation with a COO yesterday, and they go, yeah, we don't like this feature of this one practice management system. Yeah, I know they have AI, but we don't use it. And I'm thinking, well, man, that's a missed opportunity. Like I get that it's not perfect, but like it gives you some good bones that you can, work off of it. It's a good starting point. And, it's, these things are going to evolve and get better over time. So just because one system isn't up to your standards right now, I would revisit it, shortly and keep an eye on it, and also explore other alternatives. Like maybe you didn't like that one. There's 2 other systems that I'm aware of that do similar things that are better.
Mm-hmm. In that situation with that COO, is it like we haven't gotten around to it, or were they not interested in AI?
Oh no, they used it and they weren't happy by its performance. So they said, oh well, it didn't really do that good of a job. And I'm going, well, it sounds like you wanted like this amazing, set of documents with a bow on it, and that's just not where we are. Like you need to still check its work, and you probably need to add a bit here and change the wording there and make it your own. But instead of you manually typing these documents, you can have this thing generate it for you, and it's looking at source material. So yeah, I don't quite know the whole story there. I'm thinking that there was something maybe else there, but it kind of had me scratching my head like this is a missed opportunity.
Yeah, it sounds like it to me too. Yeah. Yeah, and it's if you just at least play with it, at least try it out and be aware, so when it does improve, you're ready to rock.
There's just some limitations right now with a lot of tools. Our
Sure.
tools are unique, but we've put a lot of different we've applied a lot of different methods, and our tools are very specialized. So they're not gonna do some of the other things that they perform very differently than some other AI tools.
Yeah. I mean, hey, look at image generation. It's still got a lot of problems, and you still get people with really creepy faces and weird stuff. But if you look 2 years ago and look now, look a year ago and look now, it has
Oh,
come
yeah.
a long way.
A long way. I used to get images with people with 7 fingers and
No, oh yeah. Yeah.
weird like contorted bodies and
Uh-huh.
all sorts of crazy stuff. Now, sometimes you get lucky and you get the image you want immediately, and other times you got to prompt it, five, six
Hmm.
times, and then maybe it's something you're still not super happy with, and you got to edit it a little bit more to actually make it, usable.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, thank you for joining us on Go with Kyle Harbaugh. And if you would like to get in touch with Kyle, you can visit chiefgoofficers.com. And please like and subscribe to our channel and leave us a review if you can. Kyle, it's always great to chat with you. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, Kevin. It's been great to talk with you.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and leave us a review in the comments.